Hey guys, welcome back to One All's Pub. On the bar top in front of us tonight is the Kershaw Cryo in BlackWash Finish and sporting the new Tanto grind. Being a Hinderer design, this Tanto is actually really just the Rick Hinderer Hellfire grind that you can find on his custom XM18s. Very exotic and hard to come by grind. So it's kind of neat that we get an opportunity here to experience that in a much more affordable and accessible format here. The grind itself, well, you know, the knife itself, the Cryo, is very well reviewed on the format in general. Is very well reviewed on YouTube, and it's been around for a number of years. So I'm not going to get into the knife generally, the Cryo format itself. I'm really just going to kind of focus on primarily on the couple things that make this particular Cryo unique, and that is this new blade grind and the new finish, the BlackWash Finish. So let's get into the grind first and the blade. Like I said, it's what they call their Tanto, which is really the Hellfire from Hinderer. It's a hollow ground 8CR13 MOV blade. Ironically, it doesn't say 8CR13 MOV on it anywhere that I can find. It is China made, obviously. See that, maybe. There you go. And it does say Hinderer design on there. Usually, I think they have the 8CR13 logo on their knives, but they don't in this particular case. Anyway, it is 8CR13 MOV, and it is hollow ground with a nice cool swedge across the top here, and of course the Tanto tip. It does have a bit of a recurve here, which will make sharpening, you know, a little extra challenging, especially on the wicked edge. I've never really done any recurves to speak of, so this will be a challenge to do this. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure. It does suffer from the usual Kershaw plunge grind issues, where their plunge grind and the edge of their blade, or the end of their edge don't mate up well. This is a perennial problem with a lot of Kershaws. Frankly, I never really noticed it or paid a whole lot of attention to it until I ran into the Apostle P's channel, and it's definitely one of his pet peeves. And now, unfortunately, he's passed that along to me, and now I notice it whenever it's not quite right. And they even gave us a sharpening choil here, so you'd think they would have got it right, but they didn't. But oh well. You know, this is an economical budget knife, so I guess you can forgive them a little bit. It does have a nice symmetrical grind, though. It's a secondary grind, secondary bevel here, and it's actually pretty sharp. It actually feels pretty sharp, so not too bad there, Kershaw. Not too bad. Has a dual thumb studs, black, to match up all the black hardware, and the black clip, very nice. And the black lock bar stabilizer, Hinderer lock bar stabilizer there. It is a flipper, and it is spring assisted. As I've said before, I'm not the hugest fan of spring assist knives. On smaller knives, I tend to give them more leeway, and I don't mind them as much on a smaller little knife like this. Although I'm sure that it is, and I haven't had the knife apart, and I have had my Cryo 2 apart, which I have right here, to see if it had a detent ball, and it did not. And I've had a buddy's Cryo 1, just a Cryo, I guess, apart, and it did not have a detent either, so I'm 99% sure this one doesn't either. Someday when I'll take it apart to clean it, I'll double check, but I'm so confident that I'm not going to bother. So I can't de-assist it, so I'm stuck with the assist. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, it's not my first choice, but on smaller knives I don't mind it as much. Although, and I'll get to this in a little bit, the finish on this guy, this BlackWash, is very nice. It doesn't have, well, this is the Cryo 2. It's really pretty much the same. It might be, you might have a little bit more tactile traction on the Cryo 2 here with the typical finish. What is this stuff called? What is it? TINI, what does that stand for? I can't remember now. Titanium nitride or something, I think. Oh, Bert, come on, help me out. Leave me hanging like this long. Thank you. All right, anyway, it does feel a little bit slicker than that. Not a ton, but you get a little bit more traction with this guy. It's a little slicker. And anyway, my point is that, and this has already happened to me a couple times with this knife, I go to shut it, and I just about push it out of my hand. It's very, I've almost dropped it the first day I had it doing that. And it's just another one of those pet peeves I have with spring assist knives, just fighting that blade back. I really just don't like doing that. Now, again, if I just give it just a little bit of a pinch between my finger here and the palm of my hand, that takes care of that. And honestly, if I was a regular user and carrier of spring assist knives, I would just adjust to that. But because I'm so used to non-spring assist knives and closing them, when I go to fold this over, a nice smooth knife that folds up. Let's see. Let me get out another hinderer here. XM18 non-spring assist. You got to close this, and it's just, there's just nothing to that, and so you're not fighting that spring at all. And so there's just no issues there. I get going with this little guy, and I do this, and because that's an extra slick handle and that just a little bit of push, because I'm not used to having to grab it so hard. I could be, and again, if I was a regular user of spring assist knives, I'm sure I would adjust my technique. But anyway, it's just one of those little pet peeves I have with spring assist knives. Anyway, I don't want to spend a bunch of time on that again. I've got a full video for that. As a matter of fact, I will, Bert, why don't you post a link for that one? Thank you. Anyway, but it does have really nice action. Very nice lockup. Has just the tiniest bit of side-to-side blade play if you muscle it. If you're not muscling it, it feels rock solid. But if you muscle it, you can feel just a little bit. Zero up and down. You can tighten this up a little bit more, but then you kind of ruin the spring assist action. So I found kind of about its best spot right here, and it's just got the slightest hint. But boy, no big deal at all. Good action otherwise. As far as the flipper goes, of course the whole knife, blade and frame, are done in this very attractive BlackWash finish that Kershaw's got coming out now. It looks like an old pair of black jeans, faded out jeans, all pre-worn and all taking all the worries off of us OCD type guys that get a new knife and hate to put that first scratch on it. So this already has it done for us. And the irony is that I love the look of a well-worn knife. Absolutely love that well-worn, beat-up user look. But when I get a knife and it's brand new, I don't want to put that first scratch on it. So it's this weird dichotomy I got going on there. But this solves that problem by just doing it for you. It's like a BlackWash stone wash all over the entire knife, and it looks old when you get it. Focus. It looks old from the moment you take it out of the box. So very neat finish, extremely cool finish, and I'm sure they're going to put this on every dang knife they make, and every Kershaw you ever bought now, they're going to want to resell you in BlackWash, and probably will have a lot of luck doing it because it's such a neat finish. It's got the kind of the typical Kershaw fold over clip now. Carries very nicely. Just about perfectly actually when it's carried tip up. When you carry it tip down, let's get this guy closed, and then it becomes almost a total deep carry clip, and not really almost, it really does become a total deep carry lowrider clip. So I carry tip up, it's my preferred method, so I have a little bit sticking out, but I actually have grown to like just a little bit of the knife sticking out of the top, so that's not a problem. Again, it's got the lock bar stabilizer, it is a frame lock, it's all stainless steel, has very nice lockup. If you can see in here, you know what? Let me dig out my little Maritac flashlight here. It's got, it's not early at all. It's pretty much right on top of everything. It's probably about 80% or so, if you can see that. That probably will. It's a stainless steel knife, and it probably isn't going to wear over at all. So it's really set really nice. I have an old Kershaw Vapor that I have that's a stainless steel frame lock that has had 85 to 90% lockup its whole life, and the thing's probably 15 years old now, or however old it is. And I've used the heck out of that thing, and it's just never moved. So that's a really nice lockup for stainless steel. It's just not going anywhere, and it's very safe. So very nice there, no worries. Ergonomically speaking, it's actually really nice. It's a 4-finger knife. It has this nice kind of cutout here running along here. Easy phone. Thing's kind of going crazy with the focus here tonight. I don't know what's going on. I think it's because of the light really reflects off of this this BlackWash. It really catches a lot of light, and it's making this phone get real jumpy. My camera on my phone here. Sorry, I apologize for that. Anyway, ergonomically, it's very nice. You get all 4 fingers on there. Got a nice little kind of angled ledge there to catch that pinky without making it uncomfortable. You get in here, it's got nice jimping on here. Really fits the hand well for a 3-finger knife. Spec-wise, if Bert hasn't already given it, I'll have him go ahead and put it up now. Sub 3-inch blade, and I'm not the biggest fan of small knives, but this is a cool little knife, and I really like the blade, the grind, and the finish, and everything, and ergonomically, it's really a nice little knife. So, really, like I said, the Cryo's been a big hit for Kershaw. So, this handle and the ergonomics and the handle are the same, now as they ever were. So, great little knife in general. Of course, it's got some, it's just this little brother. Actually, it's older, so it's the big brother, but it's little brother to the Cryo 2, which I also own. Just in the standard, I get, like I said, the TI, the titanium nitride, I believe it's called, finish. This guy's done some work for me. If you can see on the blade here, I don't know if you can or not. Yeah, there you go, maybe. This guy actually did some work cutting some cardboard up, and he's needing he needs to go on the wicked edge. He's pretty dull right now. But this one has similar ergonomics, but just with a much more roomier grip. Otherwise, pretty much the same knife. Slight changes to the handle. You can see a little bit of difference in this area on the 2 knives. This is a little bit more angled and whatnot, and this is a more gentle slope here. But really, it's very much a scaled. This is very much a scaled up version of this. Other Kershaw hinderer offerings that we could look at here and that I have are the Thermite. Very different ergonomically. This is a very linear and straight handled knife, but size wise, you can see. Why don't we just lay all these guys out? Let's put them out like so. The Thermite is a 3.5-inch blade. The Cryo 2 is I think it's a 3 3/8-inch blade, and then the except for the Trans Am here, and then the Cryo 2 is sub 3 inches. I'm not sure exactly, 2 3/4, 2 3/4, I think, approximately. That's not really a great view either. Let's try it this way. Let's get the Trans Am out of the way. Camera angles always kind of throw this off. It makes it look much smaller when you put the Cryo at the top, but if you put it at the bottom, then the other ones don't look quite right either. It's weird how these camera angles throw this off, but anyway, that gives you an idea. As a matter of fact, I'll line all 3 butts up here. There we go. So it gives you an idea size-wise. So if you own either of these 2 knives, or if you own a Cryo and you're interested in these other 2, there you go, size-wise. You can see this really looks like the Cryo 2 is way smaller than the that shows you how angles work. It looks like the blade is hugely smaller than the Thermite, and when you get them actually side by side, that's the only difference. Isn't that crazy how the camera plays on that angle and really makes that look way smaller? I mean, the thing looks like it looks like it's 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch smaller. It's really 1/8 of an inch when you actually compare them. Isn't that nuts? Camera angles. Anyway, so those are the various different Hinder Kershaw offerings Hinder designed Kershaw offerings that you can also look into. they're going to offer the Cryo 2 in this same finish and the same grind, and you can get the Cryo, regular Cryo, and the normal drop point that you find here, like on this guy. So lots of variety. I wanted to get it with this little Tanto / Hellfire just because I thought it was such a neat little blade grind, and I know I'll never have a custom Hinderer Hellfire. There's just no way I'll pull one of those out of the hat. So, well, you never know. I guess you could always get lucky at a show maybe and get the table price, but barring that extreme rarity, this is probably as close as I'll ever get. But it's a cool little knife. I highly recommend it if you like Hinderer designs, and if you like the Cryo anyway in that format. I don't think you can go wrong. So anyway, I think that's about it. Cool knife, guys. Give it a look. $35, $36 I think is what I paid for it. I had it on pre-order with Blade HQ. So good knife. Anyway, that's 1 ounce 2 cents, guys. Keep the change. Sláinte.